Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Refuge from Narcissism, and this refugee video is sponsored by contribution from Zoe. And this is Zoe from Borderline Baby Boomer Mothers Compete with Everyone. And she sent me an update to her story. Here we go.
Hi Ollie. Thank you for your video response that you did for me. I just wanted to update you as there's quite a time delay from when I first contacted you, and a lot's happened since I first made contact with you. Also, I missed some key information from the recording. Despite it being such an epic, I still managed to miss the main meat of the story out, but unfortunately my move has fallen through and I'm devastated. My health's really declined. I've started to dissociate to the point where I'm out of body and I can actually see myself dead. I'm living in a permanent it's not even a flashback because I'm living in it, mixed with reality, and it's hard to perform the most basic daily tasks. I just sleep all day. I'm laying in bed now. I'm just trying to put together a voicemail in between falling asleep and waking up. I'm just so exhausted, basically, and just eat absolute crap, getting bigger and bigger. It's got so bad that I'm no longer driving my little girl to school because we live several miles away. Despite I've told the school my situation, I've been telling them for months. They refuse to discuss any transport options or funding, or do anything to help me whatsoever. It does not discourage them from calling, texting, hammering on the door like a Gestapo, demanding to know what's going on. The headmaster, or principal as you would call it, has said that she should change to go to a school closer to us. I've said no because she's attended this school for years. All her friends are there and it was a school allocated to us at the time. Also, we're planning to move, so I want as little disruption to her life as possible. And since there's
Then you're going to have to get up. Then you're going to have to get up and drive your daughter. Look, Zoe, in the first video you talked about your mother with her constant surgeries and trips to the hospital and hypochondria. Your mother's clearly a borderline, and she's clearly an abusive borderline. And the daughters of borderline mothers they are so susceptible to the behaviors. You do not want to do to your daughter what your mother did to you. Okay? Nobody at the school is going to understand that you're mentally exhausted from your mother's abuse. They're going to look at you as a neglectful mother. What do you mean you can't get out of bed to drive your daughter to school? Okay? You are susceptible to using the same borderline tactics that your mother used on you your entire life. Why? Because it's a means of controlling what you feel is out of control. You got to get up. You can't just be like, I can't make it. I'm too tired of I want to keep my daughter in that school. No, they're going to look at you like you have an entitlement issue. You do not want to take on the personality of the borderline that abused you in the first place.
School until the holidays for summer. I think it's completely ridiculous. I've since refused to have any further dealings with the school and told them to speak directly to social services, which
you can't do that, Zoe. You cannot just push off the responsibility. That's your daughter. That's your daughter's education, and now you want it to go through social service. No. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You can't expect. The only person that's going to save you, Zoe, is yourself. You can't expect other people to fix this. You have to fix it. Social services, especially in the UK, isn't fixing jack shit. And the only person that's going to suffer from all of this is your daughter. And she don't deserve it. You know what your mother did to you, otherwise you wouldn't be writing into me. You don't want your daughter writing into me in 15 years. Hopefully I've moved on to bigger pastures by then, but you get my drift. You got to stop this. I understand you're drained. I understand you're exhausted. I understand that. But I fear you are taking on the personality of your mother here.
Through my doctor. Up until now, the authorities have done nothing for me whatsoever. They just palm me off on voluntary groups and silly charities and things.
That's what they're going to keep doing, Zoe. You have to take care of it yourself. You have to get up. You have to do it. You can't expect these people. Nobody's doing anything for me.
Do anything. But I think the dissociation has made a big difference. And I believe I'm going to have a psychiatric assessment at last, which I'm dreading because I just think I'm going to be sectioned and told I'm start raving fucking mad. But my memory's still really, really bad. It's appalling. The joke side of this is I was referred to a memory clinic and I forgot to turn up. As there was no reminder, which is, imagine not. You think that's one place that would have a reminder, really, a text, wouldn't you? I'm still trying to arrange that move over 100 miles away, but it's very hard to negotiate. It's an exchange through social housing, and I'm just not in the zone enough to do it, and people coming round and stuff, it's just so hard.
You have a child. You have a small child. You have to do it. For her. You have to do it. These social services are going to do nothing but pawn you off on one another. That's it. They don't want to hear this. They're going to hear you, and they're going to hear this, and they're going to roll their eyes. That's what's gone, giving you the reality. I could sugarcoat it and be like, oh, that's not fair. They're a bunch of assholes. No, that's what I'm telling you what the reality is, Zoe. You're going to have to solve your problems. You can't expect social services or whatever group, social group, government group, to fix all your problems. It's not happening. It's never going to happen.
The one thing I never mentioned in my previous contact with you, it was just hard to cram everything in, but my mum, before she had me, she had a late-term abortion when she was 19. She basically fell in love with and got taken advantage of by an older married man who treated her very badly.
A late-term abortion back then? I didn't even think abortion was legal past 12 weeks anywhere other than the United States. Wow.
And apparently her hand was forced by her family, mainly her mother, who I remind her of, and that having the baby just wasn't an option, apparently. She lived with that guilt and regret all of my life. She spent a fortune visiting clairvoyants to try and communicate with her dead son. He even has a name. He's referred to as Adam. I have grown up knowing that she wishes...
She knows it's a son. I can't even... Who does... I can't with that. Like...
aborted me instead, and I'm a poor substitute for my departed brother. How could I feel any other way when she can't abide me to the extent she deliberately creates situations so she can excommunicate me? Have you heard of anything like this before, Ollie? It's soul destroying.
That's what borderline mothers do. They create situations to destroy you. Okay, half the things that the narcissist blames you for attacks you for, they set you up for it. Happens all the time. And then they make you think you're a piece of shit when they're the ones who set you up.
To the point, I'm purely existing for the sake of my daughter.
Then you got to get up. You're not purely existing for your daughter. You're not. Because you're passing off this stuff, okay, to social services. No. What do you think social services does to children? I know what they do to them here. I've heard stories in other countries of what they do to them. Okay? It's not good. It's not good. Ever. The only one who's saving you is you. Okay? Not social services. And the only person that's going to be hurt by any of this at this point is your daughter. You're an adult, Zoe. It sucks that we went through this type of abuse, but your child doesn't deserve any of this. You had her, however you had her, you made the decision, wherever her dad is, whatever. Whatever that is now, I get it. But you cannot rely on these people for anything.
Not continue just to be out of this pain. Also, just to add more confusion, my counsellor implied that moving 100 miles away without telling my family would be the wrong thing to do. I'm guessing she knows nothing about narcissism.
Yeah, I would get a new counselor. Then I would get a new counselor.
It's hard to believe what you're doing is the right thing with such mixed messages and being in total isolation. I can't send a contribution today, but I'll try and send one next time, as I plan to keep in touch. Please keep up all the good work, brilliant work with all the videos, and keep the dark humour up, because this really keeps me going. I have to be inappropriate. It's the only thing that gets me through. That and just being asleep. But love to you and Charlene, okay? Thank you.
Okay, and she wrote me a follow-up to this, so hold on. Hold on. There is a... Okay. Please, can you add this to the end of my voice recording? A few weeks ago, my dissociation was so bad I could not pick up Star from school. Mom was contacted, but in the meantime, I had already got my friend to collect her. Mom called me and started asking silly questions as to what had caused it, acting completely innocent and attempting to diagnose me. I cut the call short, as I am no contact anyway, and informed her that my best friend had collected my daughter and work it out amongst ourselves like we always did. I'm guessing this wouldn't have gone down very well, because she proceeded to contact my friend, which I believe in an attempt to exonerate herself. I have attached a copy of the text message she sent to my friend, who thankfully had the sense to ignore it and screenshot it and send it to me. Incidentally, you were talking about autism and borderlines early on. All of my sister's children are apparently autistic and have very antisocial characteristics. After being raised by a who... Her eldest is the worst, despite professionals never actually finding anything wrong with him. He's sadistic mentally and physically cruel to people and to animals. They have grown up with no father, and my mother, an enabling father, have co-parented with my sister. I just wanted to mention that as it struck a chord. I have attached a copy of the text message my mom sent to my friend. Many thanks, Zoe. And here's the voicemail. Hello, Keisha. I'm Dawn, Zoe's mom. Thank you for helping Zoe and Star. I would come, but she told me not to. I do try for Zoe, always go to her when she needed me, but her hatred for me is so bad, I stay away, not because I want to, but I can't stand being told what a horrible person I am all the time. They never can. Like I said, they never want to look at... The borderline never wants to take responsibility for their actions. Never, 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 never. She blames me for everything bad, every bad thing that's gone wrong in her life. I love her and Star, but I can't do anything right, so I stay away. But I've always gone to her when I'm in need. When I'm needed, if you need to tell me anything, you can get in touch. Her sister has tried to reach out to her, but Zoe abuses her, telling her she's the favorite. I don't do favorites. I would appreciate you not telling her. I would appreciate you not telling her that I've messaged you, but I'm concerned about both of them. Thanks again. Kind regards, Dawn. Oh, God. And then don't tell her. Let's form a fucking alliance against, even though you're my daughter's friend. Like, let's figure this out together. And, like, this is what the borderline does, and this is why you can't depend on her. You can't depend on the state. The only person that's going to save you here, Zoe, is yourself. Is yourself. It's tough, and I know it's like, who wants to hear pull yourself up by your bootstrap, but you got to do it. You got to do it. And that those last tidbit that you gave me about your sister, all her kids are autistic, okay? The oldest one's sadistic, physically abusive. You're raised by a fucking textbook borderline mother. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. The only one saving you is you. Because if you think the state is going to save you, I've been talking about societal narcissism, okay? Your country is about 40 years ahead of us in this category. That's why it's rampant in Europe. Rampant in Europe. The state, even if they do get involved to the level you like them to, they're going to screw up your daughter and continue to screw up your life. You have to figure out how to move on. You have to get up and deal with the headmaster at the school. Because if you don't, your mother will. You got the proof. She has no problem going behind your back to your friends and trying to form alliances with them. Tell them her side of the story, that you're angry, she's the good mother, you're pissed off at your sister, and don't tell her. You don't think your mother would end up conspiring with the state, conspiring with the headmaster? She absolutely will. And there ain't going to be a goddamn thing you can do about it sitting in the bed saying I'm dissociated. Not a goddamn thing. The only person who's going to save you from the borderline is you. Period. Period. So, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for another contribution and story. Zoe, I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like me to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Refuge from Narcissism. Take care.